Hey, it's Father Chuck from the Masters of Divinity coming at you with another installment of what we call the Pop Culture Catechism. So, as you can see from my forehead, today's Ash Wednesday. So, Ash Wednesday, for those who don't know, is the beginning of the Christian season of Lent, which is a 40-day period of time of fasting, of penitence, of prayer, of spiritual renewal, as part of the lead up to Easter Day. And it is something observed by Roman Catholic Christians, Anglican Christians, Methodists, some Methodists, Lutherans, Orthodox Christians, and others. But Ash Wednesday is a specifically Western Christian day where we put the ashes on our heads and parade them around and stuff. So you may be wondering, why do we fast? What is fasting about? Because, maybe you hear this phrase about fasting and you know that lots of different religious traditions observe practices of fasting. So in talking about it, traditionally in the church, the way that we think of fasting is that it means giving something up. Maybe it's eating meat, maybe it is a meal, maybe it is caffeine or sugar, or maybe it's something like social media or TV or some other thing like that we give up, and we often give that up and replace it with an intentional focus, so around prayer or meditation or something like that. So it's sort of getting rid of something in order to take on something with a little bit more focus. So I think a good analog to this is I've seen these videos recently of people who play video games in these really interesting, challenging ways. One of the first that I ever heard of when I was a teenager was people playing Resident Evil 2 using only a knife. It's an incredibly difficult thing to do. But since then, I've seen videos of people playing like the original Mario Brothers, but with trying to not collect any coins. So try to get the lowest score possible in Super Mario Brothers, and not getting coins, or playing through like Super Mario 64, but without turning left or something like that. So some really crazy stuff that people do. And you may look at it and wonder, like, why would you do this? Why would you go through so much difficulty? How is that even fun to do that? Well, for people who do it, it allows them to experience the game world from a different perspective, because it forces them to interact with the mechanics and this thing that people have developed and created in ways that are just different than normal, and to experience it in ways that are just from a completely different perspective. And that's kind of the same way why we do fasting in the Christian and religious worlds, is it allows us to see the world differently, to give up something so that our focus is changed, right? So if you're giving up meat, it allows you to pay more attention to things like, well, how much meat are we consuming? How, is that healthy? Is that normal? Is that good for the environment? As we begin to eat more vegetables, are we starting to pay attention to farming practices and the justice issues that come with farming? Things like that. So again, it just gives us an opportunity to focus and see the world differently, to interact with it differently, and hopefully allow us to experience it more richly, and also have a closer relationship with God, the one who gave us this world, and wants us to experience it in all the different ways that He's given it to us, and for us. And so that is a very brief overview of why we fast, and particularly during this time of year. So if you are going through the season of Lent right now, I will let me know. Put a little message down below or whatever, and we'll know to keep you in my prayers during this time that you have a holy Lent. And if you want to know more, reach out. We can figure out a way to help you figure out some stuff that you might want to give up, or how you can go on this journey yourself in experiencing this world in a different way, and maybe even becoming closer in your relationship with God, if that's what you want out of it. So again, thank you. Check out the podcast, like, subscribe, do all that stuff. I know that there's like all these things, bells ringing and stuff that you're supposed to do when we do these kinds of videos. So, do that. And have a holy Lent. God bless, and good journey.